Greetings once again. This is the Master Entrepreneur. My name is Stan Houston, and we welcome you to a conversation that we hope will count. A conversation that counts, that perhaps can make a difference in your life and business. And we perhaps have your attention by simply saying your business is in trouble. And it is. And so is mine. And then the I TOBOR factor. Now, what in the world is the I TOBOR factor? Well, you have to go back probably 60, 70 years to understand that. And I'd like to tell you the story about I TOBOR and what it meant to me and what it might mean to both of us as the world of business will change mightily in the year before us. I'm Stan Houston. This is the Master Entrepreneur, brought to you by the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and a conversation that will count, and it begins right now. And okay, here's the deal. Right now, artificial intelligence and the bot or the robot factor is vital in the way companies are looking forward to and perhaps dreading the disruption that could happen in 2020 and beyond. Now, a few weeks ago, I told you about the fact that on December 1st, that terrible fire that killed over 90 school children in a Chicago blaze, how deeply that affected me as a young guy, and why even now, and I'm no longer young or even middle-aged, I'm old, still reminds me and brings a sad part to me. Now, I also remember, and I don't know why I remember this, but I do. I do remember that when our family first finally got a television, back in the 1950s, and we were truly late adapters, and it was a used television, and I do know that for my parents it was quite a sacrifice even to buy that little 11 or 12-inch black and white console television that they bought second, maybe even third hand from a television store, and brought it home, and we celebrated that. But I do remember, and I'm not sure whether it originated on a national or did it come from a local station just in Chicago, which is where we received the signal from. There was a program, kind of a science fiction anticipation of obviously Star Wars or Star Trek, and it was called Captain Video. Perhaps some of you remember it, and you can tell me more about it, because I haven't been able to find out a great deal about it. But I do remember one particular episode series. And in that episode series, there was a robot that had gotten loose. Now, this is years ago. A robot. They talked about a robot. A mechanical man who had gotten loose and was causing all kinds of scary trouble. And it was. And the idea was, and again, why do I remember this so well? He was Robot 1, and supposedly there were other robots. But what had happened is that the person who had turned him into a rogue had reversed the Robot 1, and so Robot 1 was stamped I TOBOR. Robot 1, flip it, I TOBOR. And he was a scary robot. And I still remember the main characters were running away from I TOBOR, and they stumbled and fell, and I TOBOR, and it was probably, obviously, it was an actor in some kind of box operation, reached down and grabbed one by the collar and began to pull him toward I TOBOR. And I was scared. I turned the television off. Now, why do I remember that? And that's got to be many years ago. But to this very day, Robot 1, the I TOBOR factor. We better be really afraid of the robots. Okay, there we go. 5 minutes for a silly story. But here's the deal. Obviously, the factor of artificial intelligence and certainly not I TOBOR, and the way we may deal with the robots that are in the world today is going to have a disruptive effect on our business. In fact, many of you may know that I worked for many years and still do in the financial services, helping those men and women in the insurance and financial services build their business and become successful. And I had predicted about a year and a half ago that eventually what was going to happen was that they were going to try and commoditize and try to push out the personal financial advisor. Now, for years, it had always been a joke that the insurance agents said and claimed that they knew that if the insurance companies could find a way to sell insurance and sell stocks and bonds in, vending machines and thereby eliminate the agent and his or her commission, they would do so. And of course, that was true. Well, I predicted that what was going to happen is they would develop a level of artificial intelligence that might be able to do just that in a limited and growing way. Did you know that one of the great grand masters of chess just recently declared that he will no longer play computer chess? He's really, really, really good, but he can't beat the computer anymore. Best he can do is perhaps get a draw. The computer, the game, the software is that good at the game of chess. Well, one bank is now offering a robo-advisor. And what they're saying is if your investment is just basically looking at the stock market and the markets and just allowing money to be put in small but rather safe numbers by their robo-advisor, you can have that done so you don't have to keep watching your stocks and bonds and your investments. If you're willing to understand that we have all the information, everything you need to know, we can watch all those trends, and we can make limited but significant small interventions and adjustments, you will find that by just having a robo-advisor, you can then eliminate all of the costs and commissions of the insurance agent and the financial planner. And so could it be that that entire industry is in trouble? I've come to the point of saying that if your industry is not in trouble, you're in trouble. And all businesses are now in trouble. You got that? If your industry is not in trouble, you are in trouble, and all businesses are in trouble. And what are we going to do about that? Well, take a second or two to think about that, and then give me a few minutes afterwards, and I'll give you some suggestions as to what and why we need to consider what to do about your business being in trouble, and so you can avoid having the robots get you. Okay, you can avoid the I TOBOR factor. I can help you. That's right. I have a long career as a business performance coach, and right now, you could use some of the things that my team and I can provide for you. First of all, I've got, I believe, some exceptional wisdom. I believe so. I believe it's a gift that God has given me as to how you can significantly strategize your business for the disruptive future that's before us. My hero for years has been the expression from the people of Issachar. It said, the men and women of Issachar were the advisors to King David, and they understood the times, and they knew what to do. And I believe my team and I, we're experienced God-seeking and hopefully Spirit-force embracing men and women, and we have some special wisdom that we'd like to share with you in your business to help it go and grow. Our job is to help you be better at doing business and being more alive. Remember that, being more alive. So we'd like to help you. And we know a lot about how to do performance marketing. And when it comes to the modern media, you're going to have to know podcasting, how to do video, how to use the modern media. Even today, one of my good friends who's a pastor said we just put $20,000 into the budget because we know if we're going to reach our community, we have to expand into the media in new and significant ways. And he is having his staff learn how to do podcasting and video work that can reach the community and stay better connected to the congregation. It's going to happen, and we can help you do that. So would you reach out to me? RadioEdge77@gmail.com, RadioEdge77@gmail.com, TCENglobal.org. That's where we hang out at the Christian Entrepreneur Network. We proudly and boldly claim it. We don't try and hide it. We don't say spiritual. We don't say religious. We don't say faith. We say we are followers of the master entrepreneur. His name is Jesus, and we do so passionately and purposefully, and hopefully we enjoy his benefits, which are that he will give us God's creative power. God's creative power to do our life and to do our business. Here we go. One of my friends from years ago said to me this, and he'd been an accountant, worked with small businesses for many years. He said, sometimes the worst thing that can happen for a business, and particularly a small business, is good times. He says, good times, people can make some good money. And what happens is they get lazy. They get complacent. They lose their edge. And when the good times end, and they always do, then they're in trouble. The worst thing that can happen for a business is to have too much and too many good times. Let that thought sit on your head for a while. And then he flipped it and said, I've also found that there's a blessing in bad times. Because what that does is it really helps you to focus on the one thing, the vital things, the significant things. You begin to look at the details in greater detail. You look at the ways that you can gain by surviving as well as thriving. And so if your business is not in trouble, you're in trouble because it will be. And are you prepared for it? And since we view our business as in trouble, and it really is, I've got some significant challenges in this new startup venture and the work we're doing. But what I have to do now is seek God's special wisdom, his strength, his purpose, his power and direction. And I have to bow my head and listen. I have to spend perhaps some wasted time. I have to spend an hour every day early in the morning just listening for His guidance and His goodness. And occasionally His word to me is, get going. And I say, where? And He says, I'll show you where. So I just want to have that sit on your head for a while. Here's the facts. The robots, the artificial intelligence, those things are happening, and it will surprise us how it will happen. But here's how you can be different. First of all, you are fully present to people. It's not just your product. It is more than your product. It is the experience of having people on your team. I mean, they look sharp, they dress sharp, they walk tall, they stand up straight, they are very focused, and they're very much in the place and the presence and asking questions and seeking to help people. They're not there to sell products or sell services. They are to say, in their whole entire being, how can I help you? See, if everybody has a robot, then everybody's equal, except the ones who have something that the robot can never have. Spirit force, presence, eyes that shine, a listening spirit, a heart, and the ability to be in Spirit-filled compassion to the client and customer who's got an opportunity, has a problem, needs a solution, needs a connection. Every business has something missing in it and something they need. And if you can fill that need, if you can find a way to solve that problem, you'll probably be one of the few who will make it in the disruptive and troubling times that are already upon us in many ways. Just something to think about. Again, my name is Stan Houston. We're here to help you. Let me know how I can do that. We are here to make sure I TOBOR doesn't get you, and that you have the ability to make your mark in the marketplace in 2020. TCENglobal.org/contribute now. If this has been helpful, I'd be grateful if you would sponsor me. Help me sponsor you. Just like an AA, we sponsor each other. We all need the gifts of the Spirit and to walk the steps. We'll be back. And I'm back just simply to say thank you. Keep it under 20 minutes. Take 20 minutes every day. First of all, just to be quiet. At least 20 minutes. Just sit there. See if God speaks to you. And then take 20 minutes at least to read or listen to somebody like me, who can maybe perhaps stir your mind, maybe move your spirit, certainly touch your heart, and challenge you to do something new, something different, to go into a new world. As one of my mentors said, when you follow Jesus, He is determined to lead you into new worlds. What did Captain Kirk say? Brave new worlds, boldly go. Well, we're going to do a little bit of that. Okay, once again, my name is Stan Houston, TCENglobal.org. RadioEdge77@gmail.com, RadioEdge77@gmail.com. Don't worry about the robots. It's going to be okay. And don't worry about the troubles. The troubles will pass. God is here. He is faithful. He'll be with you. and so will I. Best and blessings. Bye for now.